217 Recovery Podcast. My name is Corey Winfield. Thank you for listening to the podcast tonight. Going solo. Ryan's not here. Matt's not here. I'm just by myself. And the reason I'm doing it by myself tonight is I was told that I should tell this story. And I might have already told it. Maybe you've already heard it. I'm not sure. But it started a couple weeks ago. And I started getting these, I guess they're messages, you know, and higher power, I like to call God. And I don't believe in religion. Let's not make this about religion, but I do want to make it about God and how God is great. And it started, like I said, a couple weeks ago. Every meeting I would go to, even just talking with people, the message was slow down. And from other people talking about the things that were going on in their lives, and they needed to just slow it down. It just seemed to be the topic, to where it was so much the topic that I couldn't miss it. And that's why I'm saying it was like a message. It was something I was supposed to get out of all this stuff, from one meeting to another, from one city to another, from one friend to just talking to people at work. And they're like, yeah, I got to really slow down, you know. And the things with 217 Recovery, in my opinion, they just weren't going fast enough. And when I say that, I mean, like, I've worked in, you know, big markets in radio and smaller markets too, but it's like you realize when you break down the numbers and the ratings, how many people are listening. And, you know, sometimes it'd be 100,000, you know, and it's crazy seeing those kind of numbers. Well, you know, listening to the podcast, we get some numbers from like Spreaker and stuff like that, but they're not 100% accurate. And, you know, I can see how many plays, but not on all the formats. And so it's really hard to tell how many people are listening, but we're over like 3,000. And to me, that's, you know, but I was talking to the Chamber in Poto last week, the Score, people from Score, and Paul was saying, you know, that's a lot. That's, you know, that's, wow, I'm surprised that's, you know, so many already. You know, you guys just started. And I'm like, yeah, you know, but it's not enough. And I was just feeling a little bit like it's just not going fast enough. You know, I want hundreds and thousands and millions of people like tomorrow to listen. It's not how it works. And in reality, I know that, but it's just like, come on, man, I want it to be going. I want it to kick off. I want 5 years from now, but I don't want to age 5 years, if that makes any sense. I want it now. And a lot of addicts, we think like that. Something was said last night at the NA meeting I attended, and it was from one of the readings where it was talking about how addicts, we will take the smallest thing and just blow it up, you know, but we can handle the catastrophes perfect. You know, you got a huge problem, yeah, we can deal with that. Something minor, you know, you eat one of my hot dogs, I bought that whole pack for 99 cents, but I'm going to get mad over that hot dog. You know, it's crazy, and it's true. So with that being said, I start going to these meetings, and the slowdown thing is coming, and the slowdown thing is coming. And one day after work, I got out of work, and I decided, you know, I'm going to take a different way home. Like, yeah, I know the path home. You know, God's directed me down that path many times to go to and from work. I take it all the time. But this day, I wanted to go out on my own path. I wanted to find a new way. So I thought I knew the way back to the house, and I left, and I started realizing I had no idea where I'm at. But you know what? I trust in God, and I'm going to get there. Seriously, that's exactly what I was thinking. Well, at some point, I'm like, all right, I need to put it in my phone. Well, I have Sprint service, which is horrible. So I can't get a signal. Finally get a signal. Enough to put it on Google Maps. And it's taking me down this crazy road, and I ended up turning off, and it was a dirt road. I was like, okay, well, you know, I just follow this, and it says it comes out the other side, so we'll figure it out. So I started going down this road and thinking it's going to hit pavement soon, but it's not. It's taking me deeper and deeper into the woods in Petoskey. And then I realized that I'm on this, and I have a 2002 Mazda Millennia, if you want to Google that. It's just a small car, and it was Mazda's version of an Acura. They were trying to compete with Acura back in the day, and they're like, oh, put leather seats in it, make it a little bit nicer, you know, spiffier. And I mean, it's all right. It's a good car, but it's not a truck. It's not a 4x4. And I'm realizing I'm on like something that my friend Paul Nelson would love, and my friends with big trucks who like to just go tear up fields and, go down like racetracks. That's what it looked like. It looked like a racetrack for 4x4s. It was this little 2-track, and the grooves that my tires were just kind of skating along. I almost felt like I was like a train or something. Like I was on these tracks. Like I could turn left, I could turn right. It wasn't doing anything. I was in these holes. And then I realized too, it was beach sand. So I'm like, well, I better not stop because that's going to be really bad. I won't be able to start again. So I'm going, and it's just getting treacherous. It's to the point where I'm just bouncing. And I got to one hill, and I had no control whatsoever. It was like driving on ice. Like I was just at the mercy of wherever I was going to end up. And there's trees all around. I'm in this deep forest now at this point. I go down this hill, and I'm braking, trying to stop, and I can't really. I'm, like I said, at the mercy. And I remember I was talking to God, and I was like, God, like, just get me out of this thing. Because I can picture myself with no cell phone service, nothing. Just trapped in these dense woods in the back end of Petoskey somewhere. And I was asked, did you hear banjo music? And I was like, yeah, I thought I did. But no, not really. But I was thinking about that. I was like, man, I don't know where I'm at. I'm going to end up spending the night in these woods. I have no idea how to get out of here. Google Maps is showing where I'm supposed to be and where I'm at, two different places. Like I'm almost off the map. And it was kind of scary. It really was. And I come to this point after this hill that I'm like barely making it down. And here's a big mud puddle. And it's just this water. And I'm thinking, okay, this can't be good. And I'm not talking like just a mud puddle. I'm talking huge, like wide. And there's no, both sides of, I couldn't go around it. Both sides of this mud puddle were way past the road, into the woods even more. And I remember I started thinking, when was the last time it rained? Like a week ago? And this water is still here? Like, yeah, that's deep. So I maneuver my car, I back up, pull forward, do that about 20 times. So finally I'm back to the other direction. I thought, okay, I gotta go back the way I came. And I start up this hill, trying, and I'm just thinking there's no way, but I have to try it. I don't want to be stuck out here in these woods. So I go back up, and I'm just spinning, and roll back down a little bit, try to hit it harder again. Nope, nothing. So I have to go backwards about a half a mile in reverse back to the spot where I turned around before. And I turn around, and here I am now about 10 yards away from this mud puddle. This mud hole is what I was thinking. I'm just picturing if I try to go over it, that my car is just going to just get stuck, bottom out totally. I think it's just a big hole. Pretty much my front end is just going to dive right into. And I remember as I was looking at this, just thinking to myself, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. So I started talking out loud to God, and I told God it wasn't him I was doubting. It was Google Maps. Because the whole time I had been talking to God saying, at the end of this road, I know there's going to be some pavement somewhere, and I know it's going to be just fine. I don't know why I'm stressing. So I get ready, mentally prepare myself to go through this, what could be a huge catastrophe. And I go and I say, God, I trust you. I believe that you're going to get me out of this. I believe that I'm not going to spend the night in the woods. So let's go. So I go across it. It was nothing. Just a little mud puddle. I was just so relieved. And at the same time, it's kind of like it totally resembled life. And it was real life happening to me. And I made it out of there. I was just grateful. And I was hopeful, and I trusted that God was going to put me on some pavement soon. And it wasn't soon after that. And the rest of the ride out of the woods was pretty calm. It wasn't as hairy. There were some situations, some spots that were a little bit rougher, but I got out, and before you knew it, I almost got hit by a deer. Deer came running right out, and I was like, come on, bro. But made it to the main road and got back on it, and was just like, oh my gosh, thank you. But it kind of was a metaphor for life for me, because the things that I've been through, like here I am, I know the road that's going to get me home. I know that path that God has already laid out in front of me. It's like, here you go. But yet I want to take my own path. I want something different. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to go this other way. And to not even look up a map or Google Maps and just think, oh, I already know where I'm going. I know which way to go. And clearly I did not know which way to go. Then when I try to reach out for help, here it is. Here's the help. Go down this way, And then I still take that with some caution. And it's bumpy and it's rocky and it's not fun. It's not a fun road. And this road I'm on is life, and this is scary, this road. And here I come to a point and I don't even know what to do. I try to turn back around and go back the other way, even though I know it's hell. I didn't want to go back through the hell. I definitely didn't. And I was very scared because I didn't think I'd make it out that way at all, especially going up that hill. But when I finally was able to trust God and go through that mud puddle that he put before me, as an obstacle that he put down, he put it before me, and sometimes you just have to go through that and trust in God that, he's going to make it to where I'm not going to be stuck in the woods, and he's going to make it to where I'm going to get out. I should have trusted him. And it brings me to the point to where if I would have just trusted him, like, hey, God, this is where I'm going. But at that time, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just, blaming Google Maps for why did you put me out here on this back road? But if I would have approached it with that mentality of, hey, this is life and this is the road I'm taking, maybe I would have hit it the first time. But I don't know. I mean, it happened for a reason, and I didn't hit it the first time. I got scared and went back because I didn't want to get stuck out there. But it just resembles my life, though, where I've been and the things I've been through, and especially with dealing with substance use disorder and having to turn to alcohol in my life to get out of situations. And it did was made it deeper. Like, it was me every time I would have a problem, every time I'd see that mud puddle in real life, every time I'd have a problem, that was the mud puddle, I would turn back around and go right back to what I knew. Yeah, that hill's horrible. That hill is death. That hill is going to get you stuck. But yet, let me go back and try that because I know that. I know that hill. I've just came down it instead of what's in that mud puddle. Maybe nothing. In this case, it was nothing. And I really hope that I can learn to trust God and to not go back that way again. Turning to alcohol for me was it was certain death. I mean, when your liver fails and your kidneys shut down and your internal organs, your major organs are shutting down, it's not good. Doctors looking at me like, you're going to die. And that's from alcohol, and that's why in some meetings, in AA meetings that I go to, they talk about, alcohol destroyed my life and this and that. And yeah, well, that's part of it. But right now, and this is real life, and sometimes I joke about it, but it's really kind of not, but sugar. And they say that sugar is just as addicting as Coke or crack. It's compared to crack, and it's true. Like right now I'm on the sugar thing where I want some sugar, I want some ice cream, and I want it because it stimulates something in my brain that my body is now not getting because I'm not turning to alcohol anymore. And now I'm turning to sugar, I'm turning to ice cream, I'm turning to cake, anything, man. Like, I want it now, and it makes me feel better. It really does. And I have withdrawals from sugar, and I'm not joking. This is for real. And that can be just as dangerous. It is just as dangerous on your health. Become even more overweight. I don't need that, that's for sure. But it's going to take a lifestyle change for me in that aspect too. I've changed some things and made great progress in not turning to alcohol. The thought of alcohol makes me sick. I was at a meeting the other day, and some lady was talking about how she didn't drink beer because it was disgusting, but yet she had fists of vodka underneath her bed. And after the meeting, went to her and I was like, hey, by the way, vodka doesn't taste good either. I'm about to puke even thinking about it. And she's like, yeah, it tastes better with lemon in it. Just hold on. I did seriously almost just throw up. Oh, that's disgusting. Anyway, I'm glad that I have that, but now I need to do something about the sugar. I need to think about eating chicken and